Good afternoon, Crimson Sage once again, and as you can see, we're halfway done. So we're going to continue our run by going to Skullman's level. Skullman is actually a pretty easy level. The big thing about this one is that a lot of people like to choose this level first, because if you play your cards right, you'll actually walk out of it with 3 E-Tanks. But, there's really not much to fear in this stage. I mean, those bouncy balls that the green turrets shoot only deal a single point of damage. Now, these enemies are interesting. You shoot them with a regular shot, and they eventually just get back up. The key to it, one charge shot, done. But this is probably one of the more boring, straightforward levels of the game. Because there's nothing really interesting to talk about, aside from the plethora of eating. You jerk. So, this is an Eddy room, so we just kind of sit here. That's not an E-Tank, we don't want it. We just kind of sit here. That's not an E-Tank. We don't want it. That's an E-Tank. We want that. Now this is also a pretty easy little trick over here. You don't even have to come over here. You can skip it entirely, but really, you want to come over here because there's another delicious E-Tank. So now we have 2 E-Tanks to fight Skullman with, so we might as well have 3 energy gauges. I do hope to have this done in 1 life. There's another E-Tank down there, and that one is a little bit deceptive. Just because of pesky, low-ceiling jumps. Now, I'm going to save state here to demonstrate that if you just try to do this jump like this, okay, you don't die. So there's E-Tank number 3. Now, the tricky part is getting back, because you can't jump it, because you have that pesky low ceiling. And as you can see, just walking, no good. It's actually a deceptively difficult jump to make. And rather clever design on Capcom's part. It requires you to be pixel perfect. There we go. But at the same time, you can't, because that thing up there is shooting at you. So now we have 3 E-Tanks for the fight up ahead. And realistically, even if you're having a lot of trouble with Skullman, with 4 health bars, you should be fine. Now for this next section, you're gonna want... Oh my god. That was so bad. For the next section, you're gonna want to, actually hit the jump button when you're supposed to. Pixel-precise jumping is about the only really tricky part of the stage. Now, just because I seem to be clumsy today, I'm going to save state right here. Now, for this next part, you're going to want to do a lot of charging in advance, because there are a lot of the bone chuckers. And while it's not required that you kill them, they're really a pest. Fortunately, they're pretty generous when you go up to fight Skullman, because look, 6 small health power-ups. Once again, this is going to be a matter of just simply having charge shots at the ready. In many cases, you should be fighting the bosses with charge shots. This one, it's a matter of timing, because he'll put up a skull barrier, which will make him completely invincible. When he's not, he's just firing Whoops. My bad. I nudged my load state button. When he's not using his skull barrier to become completely useless, he's actually firing shots that can go in one of 3 directions. They come very quickly. Sometimes they'll jump at you, sometimes they'll walk. Either way, this is a fight you can afford to just practically throw away your E-tanks. Because realistically, you have enough health. You could play, like, downright horrible, and you'll still have enough health. Wow. And I still managed to fail. That just goes to show another very important rule of Mega Man 4. Don't get complacent. Don't think that you've got things absolutely guaranteed unless you actually have things absolutely guaranteed. Because Skullman himself and his Skull Shield deal ridiculous amounts of damage. And remember, when he gets out of a skull charge, he very much likes to use... he just very much likes to walk into you. And there we go. Another boss down. And with that, we finish video number 5, and I will be back shortly to start video number 6. Stay tuned.